Hello everyone, you're watching DamageDrop. My name is Junkyard Dog, and this is my part 2 of my vehicle/weapon showcase video, where I'll be showing off the different special weapons of the different vehicles, and this is the last episode. So let's start off with Junkyard Dog, which got a pretty fun and cool special ability. It is a taxi toss, which means you can toss a taxi at you. It's pretty easy to use. You just push one and you spawn a taxi behind the vehicle and push again, push the attack button that is, and you toss a taxi at them and do 35 points of damage. And the alternate special ability is that it will have a taxi have a red light. It's actually a remote bomb that will, if you let it cook, so the cam gets red, it will get a longer blast radius and more damage, which you see me hit this guy here with. Got pretty big radius on this thing. It's pretty good. Boom, 60 points of damage, and notice it says Shockwave Stage 2, and here you hit him with Shockwave Stage 1, it only does 20 points of damage, which it's not that much compared to the one with this cook. But the really cool thing about the weapon is, if you play in a team-based mode, it actually changes the alternate special ability. As you can see, it's now blue because we're in a team mode. We're playing split screen with no one actually, but actually now changes to a heal, so you can actually heal your teammates instead of damaging your enemies. And you cannot heal yourself with it, but it's pretty cool that you can actually heal people. This is Death Warrant, which is pretty much jack of all trades vehicle. Is nothing really special about it. Got this minigun, which does a moderate amount of damage, and it's pretty easy to use. So this is the vehicle to start out with. So it's not going to be anything major with this vehicle. And the alt special ability is that it lasts a little bit longer and a little bit more damage, I think, but nothing really special about it. You have to charge it. And yeah, that's Death Warrant. And here's Roadkill, which is a pretty similar vehicle. It's got basically the same special abilities, but I think it's a little bit better than Death Warrant because it's got one special ability on it that's a little bit different. I think the machine gun lasts a little bit longer and has a little bit more damage. But the cool thing about it, if you fire the normal special ability backwards, you can actually release mines, which Death Warrant can't. And that's pretty much the main difference about Death Warrant and this vehicle. As you can see, I got 4 mines and you can drop them behind you. And I think you see him here. Yeah, 3 mines. And here hit this guy. See how much damage it does. 25 points of damage. And that's basically the reason why I think this vehicle is a little better than Death Warrant, because you got that extra ability on it, which can be really helpful sometimes. And this is Wagon, which is really cool. You got a really really powerful special ability. It's ambulance, and you can actually launch patients out of it, and it will home really easily and really fast, and that does 40 points of damage. And the alt special ability is that you can actually control the patient that goes out of the vehicle, and it does 90 points of damage, which is pretty big, but it leaves you vulnerable because you stand still. This is Brahman, which is pretty similar, except that the missile, instead of like a ground-based rocket that the meat wagon has, so this one shoots like an air missile instead. But it's pretty similar because the alt special is also remote controlled. You can control it around, and it does 10 points more damage. It does 100 points of damage. And I found it to be really hard to hit with this weapon, but it really pays off because, I mean, 100 points of damage is really much. and I had to actually use like a dark side to be able to hit him. Here's Reaper, which is, he doesn't have much armor. He can kill really easy, but he makes up for it for having the most powerful weapon in the game. It's a chainsaw, which does 40 point damage, it's pretty good. You got a slide home ability, but if you pull the left stick backwards, you can actually get a flaming chainsaw, and it does 150 points of damage. This guy was wounded, so only like 11 because I would all have left. But look at this guy, he got full health, and freeze him, and boom, 150 points of damage, and he's almost dead by one hit. I mean, that's pretty sick. It's pretty hard to hit because he loses all the homing ability with the flaming chainsaw, but it's so rewarding when you kill people with it. And all abilities that you can use RPG, but you have to stay still when you use it, and it's kind of like a sniper. You can like zoom in and stuff, and it doesn't detonate on impact. It detonates remotely, which is pretty cool, and it's really big blast radius. I didn't think it was gonna hit me, but almost one-shotted me at that radius, and that surprised me a bit. This rowboat is also really cool. It launches a magnet, can lock on, and do 33 points of damage, but if you don't lock it on, it would actually do more damage, and it would actually shoot 3 projectiles instead of 1, and it would bounce around the environment like that. So it's hard to hit when you don't lock on, but it's pretty cool. You can bounce around into rooms and do a lot more damage with it, and also hit multiple enemies. And the old special ability is also really cool. Just gonna show off projectile one more time there. And here's the old special ability. You use a magnet to suck on enemy cars, and you can then launch them into the air, or you can launch them on top of other enemies and do damage to them as well, or you can launch them into like traps and endless pits, stuff like. Or you can ram into the wall and do 75 points of damage, which is quite a lot because it's really easy to use. I mean, Jesus. Alright, and here's Outlaw, which is pretty cool vehicle as well. It's pretty weak special ability if you don't know how to use it probably. It's basically a turret on top of the vehicle that shoots 360 degrees, but if you hit the fire button, that's R2 by default, it will actually shoot grenades every time you hit that fire button, which is really how you want to use this weapon, because if you don't use that, it's not that powerful. And the old special ability is that pretty much the same, but it only fires 180 degrees, so you can't hit like enemies behind you and stuff. You can only shoot forward, and it replaces your grenades with like missiles, which is pretty insane. Doesn't do that high amount of damage, but you can fire them really quick. They're really accurate, and it's really fun to use. Shadow, which is also a really cool vehicle. So you got this coffin with the dead guy in, and you can spin it around along the ground, and it actually does more damage the longer it travels. So if you want to use this weapon to its maximum potential, you have to try to fire it at long engagement. Like here, I did get a far damage with 30 points, and I did a direct hit on the other clip I think, and I did less damage. Which, yeah, and all special, you can throw it and you can cook it, and it will do a lot of damage. And I think I show off a hit now, but you don't really see me blow it off because I'm underwater for some reason. But you can look at the little cam in the corner and see I did 120 points of damage when I cooked it fully up, which is pretty insane. Sweet Tooth was really cool. It's you got a really cool special all special ability, and yeah, the special weapon is really cool in this one. You can shoot this laughing ghost, which can actually go through surfaces like walls and stuff. As you can see, it just goes straight through a building with no problem. I mean, that's pretty insane. It does 40 points of damage. It locks on pretty easy. I missed there, but usually hits the enemy. And it's really fun vehicle to use. It's really slow, but the way to really use this vehicle is uses all special ability, which you can turn into a giant robot, like just taking it straight out of the Transformers, and you can fly around and shit. You get a lot of more special abilities while in this mode. You use a lot of fuel while flying, but that's okay. You can find out pretty much everywhere on the map. And as well, while in this sweet spot mode, as they call it, you also increase your armor rating so you can take a lot more hits, which is pretty cool. And here's one of the special abilities you gain by being in this mode. You can do a ground slam or swiss slam, and it doesn't do that much damage, but it's an AoE attack, which is pretty cool. And you can still use the laughing ghost attack, but it does half the damage in this mode, so keep that in mind, that if you want to use the laughing ghost attack, you should use it while in the car mode, because it does twice the amount of damage. And yeah, you can also ram people while in this mode while using turbo, which is pretty cool. I mean, sweet spot is, if you're going for a sweet tooth vehicle, you should basically be using the sweet spot basically all the time. So this Talon, which is sweet tooth and Talon is the only vehicles that can fly in this game. And the Talon is pretty powerful. The special weapon is just so easy to use and so damaging. I mean, it locks on, it basically does all the work for you. All you do, have to hold the trigger down, fly around. And the all special is this magnet that you can pick up enemies and throw them down to bottomless pits, or just onto the ground. Really just a fun little thing, but the really good way to use this vehicle is with a teammate, which I'll be showing here. Yeah, where you can actually pick up teammates as well as enemies and transfer them to the other side of the map really quick, which is pretty cool. And you see me demonstrating here with getting this teammate onto a sniping position really quick, and now I can basically snipe away at those enemies across the map, and got there in a couple of seconds. So that's really how I want to use this vehicle. And you can also fire your weapons while attached to the magnet of this helicopter, so you can actually use it as a mobile sniping spot as well, which is really cool. I mean, really great vehicle. If you use it team based, you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. And yeah, that was my Twisted Metal vehicle / weapon showcase, and I hope you enjoyed, and hope you see you again.